Hi dear students, welcome back to computer science class. We have learned opening and closing files in our previous session. We know before performing any operation, basic operations or advanced operation, we have to open the file and you can perform all the operations. After that, you have to close it. It's highly recommended to close the file so all the allocated resources can be freed up, like resources can be released, right? Yes. So we have seen all that, the working of open function and the file handler, the application of file handler or file variable or file object, right? Just like what file handler equal to open function, then there are two parameters, right? There are two parameters that can be passed to the function open. One is file name of the file, and second is access mode, or we can call it as file mode. And access mode, what is access mode? The access purpose, right? Or we do specify the purpose of accessing the file. That's what access mode is. And file name, of course, the file name of the file to be opened, right? So in today's session, we will be focusing mainly on file modes or access modes. We know there are three basic operations which can be performed on files: read, write and append, right? Yes. And in addition to these three operations, we are extending its scope just by adding it to binary and performing two applications or two operations together. Okay, yes. So let's move on to the topic, file modes. You know the syntax of opening a file, right? Yeah, open function, file, access mode, file name, access mode. It what permits two parameters, file name as well as access mode. Actually, what is file name of the file to be opened? Access mode specifies the purpose of opening the file, right? Or it defines how the file will be accessed or for what the file should be accessed. Then it can be what access mode can be either read, write or append, R, W or A. So we are looking in detail or in depth of all the access modes or file modes. So let's start with R, and it's very easy, R, RB, R plus, RB plus. It's over. Then W, WB, W plus, WB plus. Then for A, appending, A, AB, A plus, AB plus. It's over. Okay. Yes. So let's start with R. R stands for reading, right? Reading. We open the file for reading. Actually access mode is optional. We can avoid it. But when you avoid the access mode of at the time of opening a file, it will be taken as the file is open for reading because that's a default mode. Okay. Yes. Then R opens file for reading only. Okay, look at the term reading only. Then a file pointer at the beginning. There is a file pointer. Of course, for each operation, each of these operation, we have file pointer. It's a pointer. Actually, it's a pointer that points to something, right? To a place. So at the time of opening a file for reading, it points at the beginning. Okay, file pointer will be placed at the beginning of the file. Default mode. This is the default mode. If no file exists, it shows error, right? If there is no file, the file doesn't exist, it shows error, right? Yes. So these are the important points of R. R stands for reading only. Okay, always keep in mind it's for reading only. Then that's a default mode. We know access mode is optional, so this is a default mode. And we have the concept of file pointer. So at the time of reading a file or opening the file for reading, file pointer points at the beginning of the file. It's very simple, right? It's a commonsensical knowledge. Like, when we start learning something, when we open a book, how do we start reading? From the very beginning, right? Our eyes will focus at the very first word. So we'll be starting like this. That means sequential. So file pointer points at the beginning of the file. When we open the file for reading, open a book for reading. Hope you get it, right? Yeah. Then if there is no file, it shows error, of course. Then second one is RB. What is B here? You can see B in all reading, writing and appending. And what is B? B stands for binary. Okay. There are two types of files, text file and binary file. So B stands for binary. We can perform all these operations, reading, writing and appending, binary file also. Okay. Yeah. So RB, reading only in binary format. That is, RB stands for reading binary, reading in binary. Okay, or reading only in binary format. File pointer, of course, at the beginning, that's a default mode. In the case of binary file, that's a default mode. Reading is a default mode. There is nothing difference. Okay, no difference between R and RB plus. The only difference is R for text file and RB for binary file. Okay, hope you get it, right? R stands for reading for text file and RB stands for reading for binary file, only reading operation. And in both the cases we have the file pointer, right? File pointer points at the beginning of the file. Okay, yeah, that's the default mode. Next is R plus. What is plus? Extending, right? Plus means we have something additional. That's what plus is. And what is additional here? Additional operation. What is that? Writing. That means when you have access mode R plus, the meaning is you open the file for both reading and writing. Okay, for both reading and writing. So open the file for both reading and writing, file pointer at the beginning. Of course, you know, when there are two operations, even then what the file pointer points at the beginning of the file because it's reading and writing, right? Yes. Okay, then RB plus, only difference is binary, right? We can perform both read and write or reading and writing operations on binary file pointer at the beginning of the file. Hope you get the idea, right? Yes. So this is all about reading operation. We have R, RB, R plus, RB plus. Okay. Yes. R for reading reading text file. Then what else? That's a default mode, file pointer at the beginning of the file. If no file, it shows error. Okay. Then RB, reading binary, only reading, right? Reading only in binary format, file pointer at the beginning. R plus, both reading and writing, file pointer at the beginning. And RB plus, reading and writing in binary, file pointer at the beginning. Okay, yeah. Then W, let's start. Okay, let's move on with W. W stands for writing. So writing only, W for writing only, and overwrite the file if exists, otherwise create new. What is the meaning? That means W stands for writing. Okay, writing in the sense we can write data afresh. Okay, so if there is any file with the content, what actually happens is the existing content will be deleted and newly added will be feeling afresh. Like, okay, there won't be any reminders of the previous content. There will be only the new one. Okay, yeah. So override the file if exists. If the file exists having some data, it will be overwritten. Okay, yeah. Then otherwise it creates new. You know, suppose you do not have any file. Okay, you do not have any file. Then you open a file in writing format, W format. It creates a new file. That's the idea. Hope you get the idea, right? If there is any file with the content, the existing content will be deleted and the new will be added. The new content will be added. That means overwriting. Okay, and the second is if there is no file, no such file existing here, there in the file, no content existing or no file exists, what happens is it creates a new file with the name provided. Okay, yeah. Then WB, writing only in binary, overwrite or create a new file. Overwrite if there is file, create new if there is no file. Yeah, okay. Then W plus, both for writing and reading. Okay, writing and reading, just like what? R plus for reading and writing, W plus for writing and reading. Okay, yeah. Then overwrite, create new file, right? Overwrite if file exists, create new file if the file does not exist. Then WB plus, of course, writing and reading in binary, overwrite or create new. So this is all about W, writing. Okay, write. W stands for writing only operation, and if the file exists, the existing content will be overwritten by the new content, right? If there is no such file exists, it creates a new one. Okay, yeah. Then WB, writing in binary, overwrite or create new file. It's common to all the operations. Okay, all the modes. W plus, both writing and reading. Okay, yeah. Then overwrite or create new. Then WB plus, both writing and reading in binary form. Okay, binary file. Yeah. Let's move on to the next. The third operation, set. That is appending. You know the meaning of appending, right? You know the difference between reading and writing and appending. What is the difference between writing and appending? Writing means the existing content will be deleted or overwritten by the new content. But appending means the existing content remains there in the file and we do start writing at the end of. Okay, or we can say from the end of. Okay, at the end of the file. That means at the time of appending, what actually happens is the existing content will be there in the file, and we do start writing at the end of. Okay, yeah, existing content plus new content. That's what appending is. But the case is something different in writing, right? Yeah. So A for appending only, then a point at the end of the file is if exists, otherwise create new. You know, at the time of writing, you know what actually happens. If there is file, existing what content will be deleted, and file pointer points at the beginning, and if there is no file, it creates new. But here in the case of appending, what it's appending operation, so the file pointer points at the end of the file. Hope you get the idea, right? Why it points at the end of the file? Because appending is a process of adding something at the end of, right? Yes. Then otherwise it creates new. Then AB for binary, right? Appending in binary, point at the end or create new. Then A plus for appending and reading. Okay, appending and reading, point at the end of or create new. Then AB plus both what appending and reading. Okay, both appending and reading in binary, point at the end or create new. Hope you get the idea, right? You must have a clear understanding of writing and appending. Okay, writing is the process of adding new, and appending is also the process of adding new, but the difference is at the time of appending the existing content remains there and we are adding at the end of. Okay, but in writing, if there is something existing, it will be deleted and the content is added afresh. Okay, if there is no such file, it creates a new file and add the content. Okay, yes. So these are the types. Let's have an example. File equal to open test.txt comma r plus. What is file? It's file handle, right? File handle or file variable or file object. Then open is a function. Then test.txt, that's a file. That's a file to be opened. And what is the purpose of opening the file? That is what r plus gives this, right? R plus. What is R plus? R plus stands for what? Yeah, both for reading and writing. Opens for reading and writing. Actually, this statement opens a file test.txt for reading and writing. You can perform either reading or writing operation. Okay, yeah. So this is how we can implement it. So this is all about file modes or access modes. Let's have a quick revision. File modes. Actually, here is syntax of what open function, open, file name comma access mode. Access mode, there are three access modes: reading, writing, appending, RWA. Then there are three extensions or extending, okay, with some binary and plus. So R opens file for reading, then reading only, file pointer at the beginning. Of course, it's a normal operation. When we start reading something, our eyes will be at the first word or first letter, whatever it is, right? Yeah. Then file pointer at the beginning, default mode, not file accessed, error. Then RB reading only in binary format, file pointer at the beginning, default mode. Then R plus for reading and writing, file pointer at the beginning. RB plus for reading and writing in binary, file pointer at the beginning. Then W writing, okay, only writing. Then if the file exists, deleted the existing content and a new content will be added afresh. Then otherwise creates new. Okay. Then WB writing in binary, overwrites or create new. W plus writing and reading, WB plus binary. A for appending, adding at the end of. So point at the end of the file if exists, otherwise creates new. Then AB appending in binary. Okay, A plus appending and reading, AB plus appending and reading in binary. So the main difference between A and A plus, sorry, A and what AB or W and WB or R and RB is, if it's what A, it's for appending text, right? But AB plus AB, what is AB? It's binary, appending binary. That's the difference. And we have seen one example as well. Okay, we have opened the file test.txt for R plus. That's a mode. That's a file mode or access mode. Access mode specifies the file opening purpose. For what we do, open the file, or defines how the file will be opened, right, or accessed. Okay, then it R plus stands for reading and writing. Okay, hope you understood everything, and you just go through all the topics in detail. Okay, yeah, we will have practice of these in the coming sessions, and we will be looking extensively the reading and writing operations in the coming classes. Okay, so go through all the topics in detail, have some practice. So this is all for the time being. Thank you for watching. Have a nice time. See you in the next video. Take care.